We started the show?
Yeah, we started the show.
Welcome back to the number one financial literacy podcast in the world. This is The Higher Standard. Sitting in front of me is my partner in crime in the old school merch, Higher Standard merch, Christopher Nahibi.
You know, when you start off a show like that, it does feel a little criminal. So
we got to segue.
Partner in crime is absolutely accurate. And sitting across from me, my partner in time, the one, the man, the only, the man who only wears quarter zips.
Quarter zip king.
Sight on, everybody.
Thank you, my man. And sitting behind the desk, we call him 50, a.k.a. Ferrari F50. Regil fighting for Gene. What's up, my guy?
What's up, everyone?
So if you didn't catch the reference, Regil has actually hit his new goal of losing 50 pounds.
Yes, I'm down to 195. Very proud of that. And a new goal is 180 for the next 3 months.
Wow. As are we, man. We're proud of you, too.
Yeah, and if you want to be like Regil.
You know what to do.
Yeah, that's right.
Where do they go?
Sponsored by Fridays. You can go to joinfridays.com, enter in your information, use the code HIGHER, and you too can be like Regil.
Mm-hmm.
Lean and mean.
Yeah, he's the after, I'm the before. Right? Take a pick. Well, we got a big episode for everybody tonight. You know we have to touch, even though I know on the lives you've already touched on the everything that's going on in Venezuela. But we're definitely going to get into all that and what all the implications, what does it mean for oil, the oil industry, market implications, all that. But first, we're going to start off with what is going on in the market and how we're hitting record highs.
Yeah. Well, I should say we came off the record highs towards the end of the business day. I did the real time update during the live today where we were at the top of the market for the S&P, the Dow, the NASDAQ. But we traded down towards the end of the day, towards closing. So in between, call it like 12:15 to 1 o'clock when the market closed, Pacific Standard Time, we saw the market pull back. Nothing to be freaked out about. I mean, frankly, the market hitting all-time highs at any point during a day, intraday, is still noteworthy. So let's get into it. U.S. stocks hit the new highs in record-setting start to the year. S&P 500 up 0.62%. But the total record high was 6,944.82. I do think you're going to see 7,000 soon. That's going to happen.
That's definitely going to happen.
Yeah, Dow Jones up 0.99%. Again, not a huge number, but total record high of 49,462.08. NASDAQ up 0.65%. Closing price 23,547.17. And if those numbers don't mean a whole lot to you listening to the show.
Right. What is it? What should it mean?
What should they take? They're meaningless.
What should the listeners take away? Because what I took away from it, honestly, is because it's no secret. I got weight paper towel hands, right?
You?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Dollar cost averaging is the name of the game for me, right?
Yeah.
So
DCA, baby.
Yeah, that's it, right? DCA. What I take away from numbers like this is, you know, the markets didn't panic. They didn't go crazy. They didn't overreact to any of the news of what's going on in Venezuela. They didn't yesterday, and they didn't do it again today.
Well,
right?
both ways. They didn't react in a positive way. They didn't react in a negative way. There were some outliers in the stock market. We'll get into why I think there are some people in some spaces who will benefit from what happened in Venezuela. But for the most part, we kind of anticipated going into it. And for those of you who did watch the live real time on, I think it was Saturday or Sunday. I think it was Saturday, where we covered Venezuela. We made some predictions in that live that turned out to be true for this week in the stock market. And that was largely that nobody would care from a fiscal perspective.
Yeah.
So let's get into a little bit more about the markets before we start getting into the Venezuela stuff, because that's pretty heavy. Dow closed more than 450 points lower. S&P 500 pulls back from record. This is live updates from CNBC. I read this in part on the lives as well. You can see this recurring theme here. I want you guys to watch the lives, okay?
Tune in. Even if you tune in and just hit the like button for your boy.
That's 10% more likes than I had last time. The S&P 500 and the Dow Jones Industrial Average pulled back from a record level on Wednesday as areas of the market that were hot to start the year lost steam. I think there is going to be an AI fatigue coming. Not that people don't care about the technology. People are just tired of hearing about the technology and not seeing it implemented.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was I can't remember which website it was that cited it, but I think 50% of the companies out there right now have already adopted some form of AI in their business models. But when I hear that number, I think, well, there's 50% of companies that haven't, and there's a lot of opportunity out there for a lot of people, you know, to make some serious money off of this.
And when I hear that number, because I'm a better friend than you, I think of Regil's recent 50-pound weight loss.
Drop it like it's hot.
There 50. You go. See, he gets it.
There you go.
No, I hear what you're saying, and I think that's accurate. If you remember the life cycle, we talked about AI on the show previously, there is a consistent pattern of behavior that has a maturation cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And that is you mine the data, you start building a data warehouse, you start getting real serious about that, and you start building the models. The models work off the data, and then you continue to feed those two things to get the best results, and then you tailor those results over time. Somebody who's in the AI is going to listen to the show and be like, "That's not it, sir." And I'm watering it down, kids.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Most companies at this point in time who've been talking about AI for a prolonged period of time, think about it, 12 months or so, have now gotten their arms around the data and have gotten models they're starting to build out. And there's actually third-party vendors who are now selling that product. And now the AI race is turning out to which company's technology is going to lead the way.
Mm-hmm.
You believe in Gemini. I like Anthropic and Claude. We've all used ChatGPT. Regil uses ChatCPT. It's the Compton variant. Keep it gangster, dog. Where you at? But we all use some form of AI.
Right.
But the maturation cycle is going to speed up now.
Yeah.
And now people are saying, hey, I'm tired of talking about your capital expenditures. Show me results.
Exactly. Show me results. And whether you believe we're in an AI bubble or not, if you're trying to look at this information and trying to, gauge, should I invest now? Should I not? What everyone needs to understand is even if we are in an AI bubble, right? The technology is not going away, right? So if there is a correction, there's all signs are pointing to millions, if not billions, if not trillions of dollars are being poured into this technology, right? So there's a lot of places where you can invest your dollars to where you can have it, have your money grow. It could be the semiconductors, it could be robotics, it could be the data centers, right? There's ETFs out there for all of these things.
Yeah, but what I'll say is you can also go to a different path, right? And
QQQ, yeah.
Not even that. So I think there are adjacent industries which are going to do really well this year.
Okay.
Number one, I think the energy sector is going to continue to do well because it is an outlier impact to the AI bubble, right? I think fuel costs in energy that comes from, frankly, crude oil is going to see costs go down as volume picks up. I think some of the refineries are going to benefit. We'll talk more about that later, but I certainly think that electrical power is going to be one of those things where if you can get into something in that space, you're going to see massive profits over the next 5 years because the energy requirements to power all of these things,
right?
And even just your home, if you remove the AI nonsense from the equation and you just think about your home, we have smart light bulbs.
I know.
We have smart interfaces in our homes. Our refrigerators have screens.
I know.
Not mine. Yours. You're rich. I don't.
No, mine does not.
Yeah. So which one in the house?
Honestly, okay. I got suckered in. Okay, true story. I got suckered in to buy the Samsung.
See, Regil?
The Samsung refrigerator.
Pause right there. Hold on a second.
Back in 2015, 2016.
This is what Richie will say. Regil, I got suckered into buying that Lambo.
No, man.
Name drop the brand.
No, the price was there. It was comparable to everything else. So it looks all fancy and nice. Dang, that it broke down quick.
No screens?
Was it the ice maker?
It was the ice maker, bro.
Yep. Same.
And then it was under warranty. They came and fixed it. And then sure enough, it ended up breaking again. So then my rule of thumb now is if I'm buying appliances for the house, it's got to be an appliance company that's been around for a long time making kitchen appliances.
Like GE?
Yeah, not an electronic company like Samsung. No. Yeah. Come on. But I'm not gonna lie, it looked really pretty. We got a lot of compliments when people came over. Like, that was a nice fridge.
Hey, Regil, were you invited over?
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, me either.
I know.
Weird. That's awkward.
I know. Very similar to how I didn't get invited to Hawaii.
Okay. No, you did. No, you did. We invited you to Hawaii. We just knew that you wouldn't wear a bikini.
Right.
So
there you go.
We just knew that you weren't going to be in a bathing suit. And Regil and I effectively wore Speedos the entire time.
See, I'm okay with that.
I actually did. My shorts were Speedos.
Oh.
Yeah, take that in.
Take that in.
Take that.
He's not lying.
Yeah. Between Diddy and Venezuela's president in prison, it could be a fun time. And the oil community's out there shook.
Bro.
There's been a lot of changes out there. We should talk about it.
And Tekashi turned himself in? Going to the same prison?
Did he really go to the same prison?
Yeah.
I think he did it on purpose.
Oh, he's like, I got to know. This is going to be, I'm going to write a book when I get out of here.
Did you see and Regil, don't look this up. Did you see that the Trump over Tekashi interviews?
Honestly, maybe the
AI's
greatest
best use case, by the way.
I swear to God, maybe the greatest form of content I've seen so far in 2026.
It's the best use case for AI I've seen yet.
It's the best.
Yeah.
The best.
You see the ones where he's dancing?
I've seen the ones where he's dancing. Those I don't like so much. I just like the one where he's like, I went in there and I took it.
Yeah. You're a terrible human being, Side. All right, financials and energy, two of the sectors that started off 2026 strong, saw losses during the trading day, with both declining more than 1%. Bank stocks that ended the session lower included JP Morgan, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo. Meanwhile, ExxonMobil, Chevron, and ConocoPhillips were key laggards in the energy space. And people are going to be like, well, wait a minute. Why aren't they benefiting from the oil? We're going to cover that, okay? I don't think that you're going to see a lot of these larger oil companies. Chevron might be an outlier. So Chevron, historically, for people who don't know.
Chevron's already there, right?
Chevron's already there. They acquired a company which was already in Venezuela before they nationalized the oil industry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put a big asterisk on this whole crude oil conversation right off the gate. I know what I said on the lives, and I know what the media is saying about Venezuela having more oil than any other country in the world. 303 million barrels come from there.
There's a big but there.
Yeah. What's the but side?
They only produce, I think, less than 1% of the world's oil barrels per day.
Yeah, but that isn't the asterisk. And that is, so we know their production is, as you noted, like less than the U.S., which produces about 49 to 50 million barrels, right?
I think theirs is like 800,000.
Yeah. So their infrastructure decreased significantly when the company the country nationalized the oil supply. The government said, hey, we own this. Right. Yay.
Yeah.
Chevron was the only U.S.-based company to stay there. And then the infrastructure to actually get the crude oil out of the ground went away. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever seen crude oil before. Crude oil is really thick and like tar-like.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Right? Sweet oil, like we get out of Texas, is really clear. It resembles more like gasoline.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
But there are, I think, like 6 refineries in the U.S., right? That
all in Texas and Louisiana.
All in Texas and Louisiana that primarily work on crude oil.
And the U.S. has more of them than anybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So keep in mind, for example, in Kuwait, in Iran, in Libya, in Iraq, in Saudi Arabia, it all comes to the Strait of Hormuz.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to the Strait of Hormuz and that in and around that region, that is generally sweet oil, not crude oil. And it is harder to get here than it is to get from Venezuela to the U.S. It's a much easier route, but the crude oil takes a whole lot more work to refine.
Yeah.
So what I will say is, I think if you dump a lot more oil supply into the ecosystem, it brings oil costs down over time. So any benefit you're going to get as a gas company of selling more gas is probably going to be offset by the fact there's just way more gasoline out there to sell. So supply and demand.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say the asterisk that I wanted to give everybody out at the top is, I know that everybody's citing these numbers, myself included, but we don't really know how much oil Venezuela has. That's actually just self-proclaimed oil.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's never really been validated. And if you're a country who nationalized oil, it's kind of in your interest to be like, nah, we have all of it.
Yeah.
How much does Saudi Arabia have, Virgil? We got 100 million more.
Yeah, we got
100 million more.
Right. It's true.
Yeah, 200 million? We get 300 million.
Yeah.
300 million.
Yeah,
that's kind of the way this works.
Nobody out there to validate it, right?
There's really no validation here. And so everyone's like, oh, all these money. For all we know, they don't have any.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a little questionable to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what's really going to happen, okay? If you were going to get the benefit of being a shipper, okay, maybe near term, long term, it's going to level out, right?
Yeah.
If you're going to be like a gas producer like Chevron, Chevron's going to benefit near term. They spiked like 11% the day after, I think, Monday, the first trading day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fine. They traded high because they're there first to react. But to get the infrastructure in place, and we'll get into some of Trump's comments, he came out and said, "We run the country now."
Yeah, we got it. We got it.
Wait, what?
What do you mean? Just like that, right?
Yeah.
And so, how much of this? There's a lot of talk going around. I'm curious to get your take on this.
Oh, there you
right?
go. Okay, my take, huh?
Yeah. How much of this do you think really had to do with the idea of them partaking in de-dollarization?
They also have a ton of Bitcoin there, which is another noteworthy commentary. Before we get to that, let me get to the rest of the articles that I want to cover here before we get to this article.
Because I think
want to set it up right.
That part of the conversation, I think, is the most fascinating part about all of this, right? Because
there's another thing you haven't checked. This one caught me totally off guard. I didn't think about. There is a geopolitical conflict that we'll do it now, but there's more to get to this later on that people generally missed when it came to this.
Okay,
the oil is nice. Okay, we want oil. Great, lovely. Gumdrops and lollipops.
Right.
Jill, would you like some oil?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I would like some
oil. I want all the oil.
I want all the oils.
Just not from Johnson & Johnson.
Oh.
Baby?
Not none of that. I got somebody in trouble last time you wanted some of that.
Yeah. In any event, there's also some interesting pressure where one of the largest receivers of oil from Venezuela was China.
No, that part I knew. Actually, the part that I knew, which was the most shocking to me was they were hours away from certain high level members of their government, hours away from getting there to meet with them, and then that's when we stepped in.
That's right.
The boys got sent in.
Yeah. There was also a relationship with Russia, which destabilizes that relationship as well. It was a brilliant chess move at a very precise time, but I don't think it was the rhetoric of the president. I don't think there was a weird time sensitivity. I think all of this had a lot to do with the fact that there are midterm elections coming up where the Republicans could lose part of the House.
Yeah. Look, it's no secret. A lot of the world doesn't like the way the U.S. does business. Okay. And when things don't go, when the U.S. lays out the rules, and if you don't play by the rules, okay, then we step in and we take over, and now we make sure you play by the rules, right?
You, not we.
yeah, we. Right? So, I mean, I think the best, one of the most recent case examples that we could cite is when Russia invaded Ukraine. The U.S. froze like over $300 billion worth of, Russia's like funds, dollars, and we sanctioned it and we kept it, right? Yep.
Oops.
Yeah, and it's like a lot of the world is probably like, hey, you can't just do that, right? And they're like, yes, we can. We can do whatever we want, right? So that's the reason why there's this whole movement with a bunch of other countries, like look at BRICS, that they want to, really ramp up de-dollarization.
And yeah, and so there's a whole, and they went this whole Bitcoin route, which if you're into nefarious activities, that also serves as a nice little way to hide how much money you're getting and where you're getting it from.
So and with a lot of the oil market in the industry, you could probably attest to this more. When it's sold in U.S. dollars. Venezuela started to dabble into the fact that we're going to sell it in, what is it? I don't even know how to pronounce it. Yuan dollars, Chinese dollars. And they're like, no, you're not. You're not going to do that. You're not going to go off the petrodollar system. You're going to continue to do this way. And when they dabbled into it the other way, they're like, okay, we got to send in the boys.
Yeah, there's a lot there. The boys, huh?
The boys.
Yeah. Yo, he looked pretty good in the jumpsuit, though. I'm not going to lie. Nike Tech Fleece? Really? No one's going to comment on that?
Bro, everybody, that's all I could focus on. I was like, Nike stock went up.
I thought it was the Tekashi photo until somebody told me it was Maduro.
Bro, I bought that track jacket, not the whole suit, because
I had the whole suit.
Okay, I bought that track jacket, right? And when I got it from Dick's Sporting Goods, right, I gotta say the full name there for you.
That's appropriate.
I gotta say the full name for you there. Too mature for me not to.
What are you talking about?
Right?
Oh, I thought you were looking up dicks.
They said it's literally it was the only piece of clothing that was like chained down at Dick's to where they have to have a special key to release it. They said this holiday season, every single store of ours has been broken into and people were stealing those jackets.
Yeah, I'm sure they were.
The same one that was on your boy.
Ironically, not a huge bump in the stock price for Nike for having a tracksuit be very visible. Who knew?
No, but they did have a bump in the stock price recently because Tim Cook bought like crazy amount of shares.
Yeah, him and another person bought a bunch of stock.
Yeah. Theory is they're going to sign Steph.
Yeah, maybe. Who cares? Good for Steph. You know what I mean? I'm actually more excited about a completely different detail that relates to this whole thing. I have never in my life gone into my wardrobe and thought, I have the same thing as the president does in my wardrobe.
We got the same thing? No, yeah, you do. Come on.
Maduro and I, no. I mean, I got jackets and suits and stuff like that, but like, okay. I would generally speaking not be caught dead or caught in most of the stuff that some of these dudes are wearing, right?
That's valid, yeah.
Like a quarter zip. I wouldn't do that.
Why not?
Huh?
Quarter zips are the way, bro. You're missing out.
Why don't you just have the handcuffs of corporate America on your wrist right now?
What do you mean? This is Nike, bro. This is when I put this on, I feel like I am Tiger Woods.
No, this is his way of saying, look, I'm cool, everybody. I'm hip. I'm athletic.
I'm cool, yeah. Look, I got
these hips don't lie, Shakira and I. Okay, but I have to go into work.
I get right.
So I do that with a Nike quarter zip. See, I'm not buying into your culture.
There
it's
you
not
go.
Ralph Lauren.
See what I'm doing?
I know what you're doing.
You see what I'm doing? That's right.
Yeah, don't do this.
Chosen one.
Well, some kid 6'7" me the other day.
What do you?
I almost slapped him.
No, you didn't.
I almost slapped him.
You said 6'8". You're realizing you say it more than you.
I was in the storage unit because I was moving the storage unit the other night.
Okay,
right,
yeah.
Late at night. It's like 10 o'clock, and this like 12-year-old comes on the corner. He has all the carts. So, all the carts? There's carts.
Okay, yeah.
And he's taking, I don't know where his parents are. I wasn't one adult, right? And I walk up to him, and he's got like 7 carts, and it's just him. So he can't push 7 carts. I just need 1 cart to move a bed.
Okay.
From my storage unit is 10 by 10, and the one is 10 by 5. It's late. I worked a full day. I'm tired. I haven't seen you all day, so I got no cuddles.
Right.
You know,
Just looked at me on the screen. That's
yeah.
it.
Well, no, I looked at Regil.
Okay.
But you too, I
Okay.
guess. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Regil. Him too. Yeah. So I go up to him. I'm like, hey, man, is it cool if I get a card? And he goes, 6'7". And I'm like, wait, what?
Why? Yeah, there was no reference.
And he just looked at me and he goes, 6'7". And then he walked off. And I'm like, this little man, I'm not going to be the hip guy who chastises him.
I'm not going to lie. So I thought I was in the clear with the whole 6'7" thing because according to my son, it's no longer cool. There's new numbers now, right? There's 41 and all these.
41.
Right?
I don't get that one.
So
either.
I thought we were in the clear, right? And then this morning, I wake up, my son's up early making a flip book, right?
Because that's what I do when I wake up first.
Yeah, he's into this whole flip book thing right now. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
good for
cool,
him.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's making a flip book, and it's a flip book about 6'7".
6 is morphing into 7s.
I'm like, come on, man.
Hey, man. A plus for creativity, son.
Come on, man.
Yeah, you're going to be solving the world's problems one day. I know it.
Imagine me coming downstairs just being like, oh, what's good morning, son? How you doing? Oh, you making a flip book? I'm so proud.
Oh.
Yeah, highs and lows.
Started off good.
Yeah.
Well, let's get back into it. Beyond the energy struggles, crude oil prices dropped. Do me a favor, Regil, look at WTI crude when you get a chance. You can go to CNBC.com, and it's on the oil tab up top. Dropped on the heels of President Donald Trump saying that in the interim, authorities in Venezuela will be turning over as much as 50 million barrels of oil to the U.S., spurring concerns over increased oil supply. Not the way everybody thought it was going to go in the conversation on Saturday. Mm-hmm. Here you have crude oil futures at 56.21. So, and you see a small drop off, but generally pretty healthy. It was, again, a huge non-event. So, my thoughts on this. Click on that link down below there, the CNBC one. Yeah, right there. 56.21, 22 cents-ish, 0.36% up on the day. So nothing. I mean, look at it throughout the day. It didn't really do a whole lot. It was kind of flat. I know the chart looks like it's all aggressive, but it's really not. So you got a lack of significant movement in the price of a barrel of crude oil, and in our opinion is a vote of confidence that we're still far from being tight from a supply-demand standpoint. Keith Buchanan, Senior Portfolio Manager at Globalt Investments. It's a weird name, so I say it weirdly. There's a significant risk of oversupply that's on the horizon that nobody's talking about, but we'll get there. What's happened in South America hasn't changed the prospect for growth in the U.S. from an equity market standpoint, Buchanan said. I think that there's some complacency from appreciating the overall geopolitical risks that are growing, in our opinion, but we don't feel like what's happening in Venezuela has moved the needle in that regard, up or down, he continued. That to me was crazy.
Okay, why?
So I want you guys to think to this weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're doing whatever you're doing, and wham, right across the wire, you get, we're invading Venezuela and we're taking their president, and now we're going to charge him for criminal actions.
Mm-hmm.
I expected Iran controversy, people rioting in the streets, or like Iraq. Nah.
No.
I mean, I understand he was a terrible dictator, and there's a whole bunch of reasons why he wouldn't, but there wasn't any civil unrest in the country, right? And again, I get it. It's a democratic country, so they had a vice president lined up. She's very similar in her socialism stance than Maduro was, but she seems to be a little bit more liked, I guess, from what rhetoric I've been able to glean from media from then till now. But there wasn't a lot of civil unrest in the country. As a matter of fact, the headlines were strange because it was our president saying, "We're going in there, we're going to run it now."
Yeah,
we're sending our oil companies in there to improve their infrastructure now, and you're like, "Wait, what?"
I mean, it was very similar playbook to the what they did with Saddam in Iraq. Very similar playbook. There was a
lot of civil unrest there. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you guys have been watching the headlines lately, and I know we're not a political show, but ironically, we always talk about politics.
Dude, I know. We can't help it.
You can't divorce yourself from it.
You can't, right? It's all interwoven. Right.
You can't, You just...
What are we supposed to do? Just ignore it?
Yeah. I think you can. So what happens, at least my feed anyway on social media, was all Iran and their social protests.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm sitting here thinking like, wait. We just went into Venezuela, a South American country. We took their president, literally, in a fly-ass tracksuit, right? Put some glasses and headphones on him and flew him to New York to be charged with trial on Monday, where he shockingly pled not guilty. Who knew?
I'm trying to understand. All the photos I saw was him like giving 2 thumbs up. I didn't understand it. Like, why?
I think his handcuffs were locked.
No, he went like this, bro. It was like
maybe he meant it in the Middle Eastern way, where that means the middle finger.
It does mean the middle finger. You're right.
Maybe he was just trying to like talk to the homies. Yo, Saudis, come get me. Maybe it was one of those things. I don't know. But so all the things that I was reading online about civil unrest were in the Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
So that is clearly strange from a geopolitical standpoint. Like, we just did this with one ruthless dictator. Are we thinking about doing this there? Like, what?
Right.
Where does that all play out? Because clearly there's social attentions on something very different than what the political one is.
Right.
Or maybe it's not, because we didn't get any heads up, and neither did Congress about any of these things.
Mm-hmm.
So for all we know, I mean, we could turn on the TV this weekend and be like, oh my God, they went into Iran, they took a bunch of people out. And at this point in time, it seems, again, I don't know, it seems like you'll have more support from the people than you otherwise would have historically. I'm not saying it'll be like Venezuela, where there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of civil unrest around and people just didn't like them. There will be some people who are loyalists.
I'm sure there's a good portion of the population that recognize that, them eventually ending up as a failed state was inevitable on the route that they were going. Right.
Maybe.
So maybe they think that this is a way out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a whole. I have a personal connection to Iran and the Middle East in general. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen pictures from my father's childhood there.
Right.
In the early 70s, before the Shah of Iran came in and all the stuff that was changed. It was a very westernized or westernizing country.
Mm-hmm. Afghanistan too,
yeah. Suits and ties, women in bikinis and beaches, like all the iconic 60s imagery that you saw.
People wouldn't believe it, dude. No, they were well on their way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you had some hardliners who came in from a religious, pitch, and they basically turned the country into a religious nation, which I think most people there that I know aren't entirely in support of. I mean, there's a whole confluence of political backdrop there, but it's certainly a very different landscape today than it once was.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting to see how there are still people who hold on to, and there's really no clear. And I look at it, and as much as I want to criticize the country, I think to myself, well, the U.S. is not a whole lot different from its extremism. We're not extreme over religion.
Mm-hmm.
We're extreme over politics.
Yep.
Right?
The system is designed that way to be that way.
And I can't help but think okay, we look at them and we go, oh, there's so many people don't like them. How many of them are looking at us going oh God, people don't like their president?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
But the rhetoric that's going out versus the rhetoric that's coming in, it's always filtered.
Always.
You ever been out of the country and looked at gone to other museums?
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget. I went to the Vietnam War Museum in Vietnam.
Oh.
Talk about a different pitch on what America was.
No way.
Yeah, I'll save you some of the ugly, gory details, but there were very visible and palpable examples of U.S. corruption and wrongfulness in a museum.
Yeah.
Is wrongfulness a word? Yeah.
Wrongdoing.
Wrongdoing. Yeah, there you go.
Mm.
Don't smart ass me, boy.
SAT vocabulary wrongdoing.
We're just going to move on. CNBC, Trump says U.S. oil companies will invest billions of dollars in Venezuela, alluding to what we were alluding to earlier. President Donald Trump on Saturday, according to Instagram, CNBC via Instagram, because that's where I get all my relevant news, said the U.S. oil companies will invest this money. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, Trump said in a press conference from his Mar-a-Lago restaurant and residence in Palm Beach, Florida. Let's start making money for the country, Trump said.
Noble. That's noble, bro.
If you took this out of context and spun it around.
Yeah.
We're going to go into the bedroom. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have the best experience in anywhere in the world.
Mm-hmm.
The absolute best. We're going to go in. We're going to spend hours, Saeed, and we're going to fix your broken infrastructure.
I'm going to start making some money for the house.
The bedroom infrastructure.
The bedroom infrastructure.
Let's start giving you pleasure.
You can do that by joining Fridays at joinfridays.com.
Bad plug.
Yeah,
plug. Shame on you.
Right. But man. He also went on to say it's going to take about 18 months. I actually think it's going to take longer, and I think that's
it will. Yeah.
I think that's the reason why you didn't see a whole lot of volatility in the markets right away, because I think people understand that.
Well, so play this out. And there's also an element here that I think people don't understand from the long term. Near term, okay, Chevron gets a bump. They got 11% day one.
Mm-hmm.
Near term, you're there. You're going to get some kind of benefit. We don't know what that's going to look like. But all the retail and everybody went in saying, okay, Chevron's the only one there. We can put our money there.
Okay.
You got 3 different categories: shippers, refiners, producers.
There you go.
Right? Producers, Chevron, shippers, whatever transport company you want. I listed them on the show. They're in the show notes. Refiners. Okay, if you're shipping oil and you're producing oil, sorry to say, more in the market means more supply, less demand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Sorry.
Yeah.
The only people who are really going to benefit are the crude oil facilities that are just going to have more crude oil to refine.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
And that, even in and of itself, you got to get there, spend the money, get the resources, get the infrastructure in place. Let's assume, he said they've agreed to send 50 million barrels of oil, whatever the hell it is, our way, right? Doubling U.S. production effectively. Fine, great, glamorous.
Right.
Over what time frame? Did you hear a time frame?
I didn't hear a time frame.
Virgil, did you hear a time frame?
No.
I did not hear a time frame. Right.
Said, if you're my friend for the rest of my life,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you $1 million.
For the rest of your life?
Yeah.
When do I get that $1 million?
Don't worry about that. I'm going to give you $1 million.
Yeah, you just have to outlive me.
No, I'll give it to you over time.
Yeah.
You'll get that.
Well,
I'm committing to giving it to you.
I need a time.
No, I can't do that.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I can't do that. There's too many unknown variables here.
Right. Right.
So if you're in the stock market, how could you invest in that? So how are you going to invest? You're not going to go out and spend $1 million, right?
Right.
So the stock market didn't go out and put their money into something they don't have any conclusions to. They know there's a process in place for the future.
Mm-hmm.
They know that the U.S. may or may not be there, but this could very easily turn into the Venezuela starting a war with us. That's an extreme case. It could start into there being a new person. So everybody thought the Nobel Peace winner from Venezuela was going to step in and she was going to be like this, like, well, I want a peace prize.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Not to be confused with your laureate.
Right. That's different.
Right.
That's completely different.
You've got a different laureate in economics.
Mm-hmm.
It's green jacket, right? Or
Green
gold?
jacket.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Nouriel Rubini may have one too.
That's fine.
Yeah, okay.
That's fine.
So, yeah, I think there was a bit of stigma going into Monday. People thought, okay, was the market going to tank because of fear of war? And no, you didn't get that socially. The media wasn't covering it because it wasn't there.
Mm-hmm. Then
you got all these statements that said the U.S. is going to go in there and do all these things, but there's no timeline, there's no time frame, and largely people expect this to take a long time. And then even if you play it out over time, over years, let's say you get the oil infrastructure in place, let's say you get the shipping going, everything going, you're selling more oil, but you're selling it for less dollars, kind of even, right? You're shipping more oil. Okay, maybe as a shipper you make more money, but if you do more shipments, it kind of bleeds out over time. I don't know. There's going to be a whole lot of value there. They're not going to make a whole hell of a lot more money. The refiners will produce more oil and they'll make more money initially. But again, a lot of this just winds up costing us, U.S. citizens, less money over time.
That's true. But what else we did see in the markets when all this went down and even through today is a lot of times investors get this wrong. They think the stock market, stocks and gold work opposite of one another. If stocks are doing well, gold is staying pretty stagnant. Or if gold's doing well, that means the stock market's going down, right? Look, we just talked about it. At some point in the day, S&P 500 and the Dow hit a new record high, right? But gold also creeped up. And that is the market telling you that uncertainty is increasing. When there's geopolitical unrest and uncertainty, right? Lack of stability, gold tends to increase. And that's exactly what's been happening.
Well, we're going to talk about that later on in the show as well. VIX, the fear gauge, is somewhat decoupled. We've talked about on previous shows that employment and price stability, the Fed's dual mandate, may have decoupled because of some of the technological implications that we're seeing here, because of the lagging data. You're seeing unemployment move up as earnings continue to be profitable and dividends continue to happen. Well, there's something to be said for the fact that you can have fear in the markets and the markets improve. Today was a great example.
Right.
The day started off with the VIX around 14, the fear gauge, right? Started around 14 and then closed out above 15, I want to say. Was it? Yeah, you're looking at the VIX for me? Yeah, 15.38. There you go. He's playing hide the sausage with the price there. 15.38, about a 1 point higher. Again, not in my mind in scary territory.
Right.
I
mean, look at that. 52-week high was at 60.
Yeah. So I think anything above 20, you're starting to get some tension and some stress in the markets. But below 20, you can have this creep up. Now, is it weird to have it creep up on a day we hit all-time market highs? Yeah, that's pretty weird. So I think there's some material decouplings in the market, which in my mind are also indicative of a bubble. And people always go, okay, well, hey, Chris, bubble, scary, bubbles burst. Not always. Sometimes they float away in the sky.
Really?
Sometimes they just get smaller and smaller and smaller, and they wind up being that little shriveled balloon in the corner of your house that nobody plays with anymore.
It just sits there.
Yeah, it just sits there.
Yeah.
And then it gets all sticky.
Ew.
But it's still a bubble, right?
I've never touched a sticky bubble.
Oh, I can show you. I'll hook you up.
No, don't hook me up.
I'll hook you up. Right. So, but we are absolutely in a market bubble. But what I would keep telling people is I have yet to hear the data, and this is going to be a recurring theme of the second part of our episode later tonight. I have yet to hear the data which actually supports the narrative that we are in a bubble and it's going to burst. Yes, we're in a bubble for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to burst? I don't know. Based on what? What's going to blow? Consumer credit? Not yet, maybe, but what's going to be the catalyst?
A lot of the CEOs from the Mag 7, though, are even now starting to touch and hint on that we might be in an AI bubble.
Because they are. It's undeniable.
Yeah.
It's undeniable.
It's a nice way for them to hedge their bets, too. Be like, look, we are a little overvalued. So when it does come down, nobody panic. I told you this was going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, you can't spend the type of capital expenditures they're going to put out over the next couple of years and not have a bubble form, right? They're making a ton of money, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not giving it back to the employees and they're not giving it back to everybody else.
Right.
So, grain of salt there.
So all of these companies are dumping tons of money into AI, right? They're trying to, the big conversation is who's going to win the AI race, right? Who's going to get to AGI, right?
I don't really know that AGI winning a race is that meaningful.
I don't think there's an end. Right?
No, there's never an end.
There's never going to be an end. And let's just say
you get AGI and I get AGI. We both have these individual computers that can talk and do things on their own, and they're individually
but
intelligent.
Let's say forget us that are here. I'm saying if you're competing against China, right?
All right.
Right. You think we're going to know? You think we're going to know that they got there first? Honestly, ask yourself that question.
Well, it depends on what they can do with it.
Yeah.
If it's the naughty stuff, you're never going to know. If it's the good stuff, they're going to be like, oh, look at all the cool stuff we can do. This is the problem, though, too. There's so much so we use the moon landing as a proxy, right?
Mm-hmm.
The narrative is we didn't make it to the moon. We just wanted China to feel like we made it to the moon.
I know. That's the
China
narrative.
and Russia. Hey, guys, look, we made it to the moon.
We did it.
Yeah. Why is that flag not waving?
I don't know why.
Is there wind?
It's you. It's you. You were the one that saw all those reels, and then Instagram thought, oh, you talked to Chris a lot. We should send you those reels. Because I'm getting all of those reels right now.
Oh, yeah. I conspiracy theory the hell out of your feeds.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I'm that guy.
I know you're that guy.
I read it all, dude.
Yeah.
Little green men.
I don't want
little gray men.
I don't want to touch it, but some of that stuff is pretty damning.
Bro,
it's like, come on. Do better.
I'm pretty sure.
Hey, do better. You know?
I'm going to go ahead and say it.
Say it.
There's aliens underneath pyramids. I said it. There's aliens there.
Done.
Zawi Hawass is not like the guy I want representing my country. You try to talk to that guy and he's like, no, you're crazy.
Yeah.
There are no aliens. And you're like, prove it. No, I don't need to.
I don't need. Yeah.
I know everything about Egypt. And you're like, Zawi.
Zawi.
Yeah, goes on Joe Rogan's podcast, fights with Joe Rogan about it. You're like, come on, dog. Read the room.
Right.
There's only 2 people in it.
Right.
Yeah. So it's just, I'm just saying. I want people to know that I'm not as intelligent as we might sound on this show. So if you think that, Chris had this opinion on stuff on Venezuela and he wound up being right on some of the predictions that he made, it's not because I'm smart. Okay? It's because I actually read an article from somebody else.
For who wrote it?
Yeah, this is from, he's like, look at the handoff I just made.
Look at that.
It wasn't obvious.
let me get it in.
Alliance, stop. Don't ever say that to me again. Alliance Global Investors from Venezuela Instability, Market Implications. This is from August 12th, 2025. They just happened to write an article about this, which to me says, maybe people knew.
Yeah.
Maybe they knew. 3 bullet points right at the top, which I think are the only real meaningful parts to take home here. There's a lot more detail, but you don't need it if you're listening to this show. We think the most likely scenario in Venezuela is a continuation of the status quo or regime change involving an orderly transition to a more pro-Western government. Check.
Continuation of the status quo or regime change. I feel like those are 2 different things, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
yeah. Isn't the status quo like, hey, let our vice president step in? That would be status quo, or a full regime change, the whole thing.
An orderly transition to a full westernized regime change. I think you got the latter, but whatever. Okay, whatever. We don't know. It remains to be seen. Number 2, given the potential for Venezuela's bigger role in oil markets and growing competition between the U.S. and China in South America, we think it is important to explore the potential transmission channels and market implications, what we term the Venezuela trades. Basically saying, hey, man, the Chinese government's coming in there and they're going to try to do some deals and cut us out. We better get in there and explore the territories.
Yeah, and they know that, okay, U.S. is now going to dump more dollars into the infrastructure there so that they are going to play a bigger role than what they're currently doing. I mean, right now
this is mine.
Right. Mine. Right now, they're producing less than 1% of all the oil in the world, right? So, it's only going up from here. It's not. So yeah, they're gonna take on a bigger role.
Can you imagine if we just like literally start calling it the United States of Venezuela?
That's it, bro.
We own you now. All right, number 3. We think there is the potential for short-term gains for oil prices during instability, but likely lower prices over the longer term if Venezuela raises oil supply and regime change could pave the way for a consequential sovereign debt restructuring. So there you go. I think you're going to get sovereign debt restructuring. I think you're going to get more oil supply. I think just like it said, near-term higher oil prices. If there was instability, there wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I think long-term, you're just looking at overall lower oil prices. Mm-hmm. So much ado about nothing, as the kids say.
You buying some real estate in Venezuela?
No. Love the country, beautiful people, but no.
No, not right now.
And I would not buy in Colombia at the moment either, because Trump's going like, hey, man.
He's like, wait, who next?
FIFO, dog. First in, first out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you thought I said FAFO.
Yeah, that's different. That's different.
different. For those of you listening to the show, we are a PG-13 podcast most of the time.
Yeah, 90s PG-13, not this new age stuff. 90s PG-13 was a little bit better.
I didn't check the news, but was this whole like Stranger Things
no, I haven't seen anything.
Rumored 9th episode? It wasn't true, right? There wasn't a 9th episode that came out.
Why are you getting so excited? Look at you.
I was so excited.
You're so excited.
Yeah.
You weren't fulfilled with the final episode?
It was unfulfilling.
Was it?
Yeah. Not because it wasn't good and heartwarming, but because there were a lot of holes that need to be plugged.
Need to be filled.
Yeah. You know, sometimes you just need your holes plugged.
Yeah.
Or filled.
Right. There's a lot of questions unanswered. That's how I felt about it.
I mean, that's not what I said.
That's how I feel about Game of Thrones at the end.
Really?
Yeah.
I just felt like if the fan base knows the loopholes more than you do, and they have like theories
I know. Okay, this is what happened with Game of Thrones too. But then if you go down that rabbit hole, and then they go off one of the crazy theories, right? And your piece, doesn't it come off as a little too gimmicky? Like you're stretching. You're stretching way too hard.
First of all, Game of Thrones is basically softcore porn. Let's just start there.
That's not the case.
Yeah, that's the case. I've seen a couple episodes and I'm like, wait, what is that dragon do to that person?
That's not. That never happened.
Oh, bro.
That never happened.
I'm just saying.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
I know everything. I know all the things. Venezuela's Maduro declares innocence in New York courtroom hearing. Trump reiterates the U.S. is, quote, in charge. President Trump reiterated Sunday, I lost it. There we go. Evening that the U.S. would call the shots in Venezuela. He also threatened Colombia over its role in drug flows, said Cuba is ready to fall, and repeated his position that the U.S. needs to control Greenland for its own national security. And when I heard this, I was like, he does understand it's the United States of America and that South America is not attached, right?
Yeah.
I mean, not literally, but figuratively.
Yeah, exactly. Guilty by default. Well, y'all got an America in your name. Why'd you do that?
Yeah, we own you, right?
That's us, right?
Like I thought, the same address.
Like it's inevitable, right?
Yeah, it's just strange. Shares in U.S. Energy companies, including Chevron, rallied on Monday. The de facto leader of oil-rich Venezuela, Delcy Rodriguez, who served as Maduro's vice president, has demanded Maduro's release, but struck a softer tone toward the U.S. on Sunday.
I mean, it's cool. If you can't do it, I understand. Am I going to be in charge here? What's happening?
Ring.
Yeah.
Hey, Delcy, what's up?
Yeah.
You keep talking, you're going to wind up in a Nike jumpsuit on a plane.
Yeah. What's that? Can I ask you a question? What size are you in the Nike jumpsuit?
You're child size 8, right?
Yeah. Right. What size are you?
Yeah. How do you feel about orange?
Right.
Yeah. So that's so crazy. Is that even legal?
No.
Can you just take someone from a foreign country and be like, we're charging you?
Right.
For crimes?
Yeah. I mean, it was.
They just think that through.
When you saw the footage of like the military coming in, it was just chill. Imagine you're just sitting there like, what's going on?
Having some nachos.
Why nachos? Why nachos?
Why not arepas?
Yeah. Why nachos?
Everyone likes nachos, bro. What are you talking about? I had a craving the other night for some nachos. Not that like dirty cheesy kind, but like like the meaty kind.
Some Jalapeno.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. He knows.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
50 pounds lighter over there. He knows what I'm talking about.
You know, yeah. You
I
don't
walked
know.
past the grocery store and I looked at a bag of like tortilla chips. I'm like, nah, that's not what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Came back to the same aisle. I'm like, nah. That's not the ones I want.
Right.
Came back 5 minutes later, got the bag anyway.
Had to.
Had to. Ate it.
Dude, I can't go grocery shopping. I always end up buying something that I'm not supposed to buy.
Same here.
Always. The wife's got to go. Either that or it's got to be Target pickup. Like Target pickup, that way I just don't even step in the door.
You can show the restraint on the app order. You just can't show it in person.
Exactly. Yeah. Just here, this is what I need. Go.
One item only.
Right.
Yeah. All right, let's get to Saeed's point about the VIX and the S&P. I think it's material and fun, and we've had enough political commentary for one night. This according to Market Watch via Instagram. Stock market has been climbing despite rising geopolitical tensions after the U.S. captured Venezuelan leader Nicolás Maduro.
You do that very well.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I had to look at you to get the confirmation, but fine. In the wake of the weekend operation, the S&P 500 gained 0.6% on Monday and another 0.6% on Tuesday. For those of you who can't do math, that's 1.2%. You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps more interesting, however, is that as stocks were gaining, investors were positioning themselves for volatility. The CBOE Volatility Index, or the VIX, often referred to as Wall Street's fear gauge, gained 2.7% on Monday alone. This doesn't happen too often, and as the kids say, a rising VIX is an up market. Is not necessarily a warning by itself, but it is a signal. Joe Mazzulo, head of trading at derivative strategies at Charles Schwab, told MarketWatch. It's a signal that the market is pricing in uncertainty. Yeah. I think when you go into a country, you take their president, right before trade talks with China go down, you still have geopolitical unrest in Russia and Ukraine. You got Iran doing all their stuff. I mean, there's lots of things all over the world to go, you know what? I don't feel very comfortable right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Apparently, I mean, look this up, Virgil. I think China had invited like 30 countries to get together to start discussing de-dollarization.
Yeah.
That's a little, I mean, I would consider that uncertainty.
Yeah.
Instability.
Yeah.
Volatility.
A little bit. Well.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Got it. Bang, bang. China recently invited over 30 countries to join the new International Organization for Mediation in Hong Kong, forming a bloc for dispute resolution, and also hosted many nations for the SCO summit to discuss the de-dollarization and trade in local currencies, aiming to build an alternative to the U.S.-led world order. These actions highlight China's increasing diplomatic push to foster cooperation, particularly among developing nations, and reshape global financial and political structures through initiatives like the Belt and Road. Yeah, bro. I mean, this is happening one way or the other.
We should have called the podcast The World Order.
Yeah.
I mean, it just sounds dominant, doesn't it?
Well, I mean,
We're the world order. Yeah.
I mean, you're taking a little bit from the New World Order.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Come from the guy that said last episode he didn't watch wrestling.
I don't watch wrestling.
This guy.
I just feel like you have to say New World Order like that.
Bro, come on.
You know what I mean, brother?
Dude, you're hurting my feelings, bro.
Of course I'm hurting your feelings. That's
Big Daddy
true.
Diesel, Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Or what about higher world order standard?
The higher world order?
That just sounds like a bad
I feel like
restaurant.
it's a tongue twister.
Yeah.
There's no way I can introduce a show every time with that.
HWAS?
I still
It doesn't go very well.
I'm still on the fence with the Bureau of Wealth Building.
What are you talking about?
Just call ourselves another bureau.
I thought you registered the trademark already.
We're the Bureau.
.gov.
The Bureau would be amazing.
Can you imagine if we find a way to finagle ourselves a .gov like URL? I would be the first person to be like, hey, thank you for calling the government issued enterprise. This is Chris. I may direct your call.
Right.
Yeah, I'd do it. I'd be all over that. Bum on a bologna sandwich, if you will. All right, even with markets climbing, the VIX implies that traders are bracing for some sort of volatility. Mazzulo pointed out that there are plenty of upcoming events that have the potential to move the market. There's an upcoming jobs report expected at the end of this week, as well as other data on labor, CPI, PPI, OPI, OPP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know me.
All those things. See?
Yeah.
That's how you keep up. We're working here.
I'm on it.
Dude, he's locked in.
Yeah. The U.S. Supreme Court's ruling on President Trump's tariffs is also looming and could arrive in the not-too-distant future. And there are escalating geopolitical tensions, as we've covered on the show, with the U.S.-Venezuelan military operation potentially causing investors to brace for future volatility. even if the stock market shrugged it off in the near term. However, Mazzulo said that it is important to take a step back and understand where the VIX was before the jump. It was about 14. Now, Regil, do me a favor. Go to cnbc.com. We're going to walk through this together, kids. If you guys want to check this out, this is how you do it. I could give you the acronyms and abbreviations, but this is the simple way to do it. We're going to do the simple stuff tonight. Okay, Saeed?
Let's do it.
All right, so at the top, you're going to get red and green boxes, which are going to tell you some of the basic stuff. This is the pre-market. In the top, see that little plus sign and the three little, the gray bars at the top, right above the red box? There you go. There's one of them that says bonds.
Mm-hmm.
Let's click on bonds.
Let's do that.
James?
There you go. One in the top left corner should be U.S. 10-year Treasury. Click that. There you go. It's green. 4.14 up 0.002. And I know you're thinking like, oh, God, that's not a lot. If you watch this and you just look at it once a day, you will have a good approximation for what mortgage rates are doing at any given time.
It's always about what, 2 to 3 percentage points higher than whatever the 10-year is.
That's right. So between 6 and 7%.
6, 7.
Dang, bro. It's the year. Chosen one. You saw what I did? I set him up. He bit, bro.
You do realize the hand gesture you're doing is not the appropriate hand gesture for the
No,
reference.
it wasn't low.
No, it was low.
No, it was not. I was up here.
There's cameras on you, Saeed. That was low.
Yeah.
Okay, it was awkwardly close to your chest, too.
Oh.
Yeah. Don't do that. Don't.
Look at this. It's 6-7.
We're going to lose sponsors already.
I hope we don't lose First Form.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Andy Frizella sent us over these wonderful cans of First Form Form Energy.
I'm on the Screaming Freedom. Honestly, it's probably one of my favorite flavors.
Yeah, that was the last one, you son of a bitch.
I took it. Yeah.
I know you did.
I took it. It's mine.
Take that.
I took it. It's mine.
I gave it to you.
It's mine.
If it was a little oily on top,
I went in there and I took it.
I put some baby oil on top of it. That's his Maduro can.
No wonder why you're so loose right now, Saeed.
Yeah, you feel it, right?
Pausing. Emphasis. All right, go back to the previous screen. Now I want to cover some other things. So if you look at this every single day, you'll be good. I actually cover this on the live streams too. If you go back to the pre-market there at the top left, you also have a crypto bar. You have some other stuff here you can look at. But if you click on the pre-market, you're going to get what some of the stuff is trading before market. Go to the oil in the top right there, the green box. Oh, you can go to the top left now. Green box down below. Down below.
Right
there you go. WTI crude, I watched this recently just to get an idea of where oil's at. You can kind of see the drop off. Now, look at the course of 1 year. Look how much higher it is. Look how much it's come down. It's come down recently. This is only going to bring it down even further.
Yeah.
You got to kind of wonder if anybody thought about that as part of this whole process, or was it just don't let China have it?
I really, really believe it has most to do with them beginning to price it out in anything other than U.S. dollars, right? Because this is the way that it works. If they price it out in something other than U.S. dollars, and there's less demand and less need for U.S. dollars, when things are priced out in U.S. dollars overall, then countries will either trade, make more trades with the U.S., or they'll buy or change the currencies into U.S. dollars, which will ultimately they'll buy into the U.S. treasuries, right? And if they don't do that and they don't need that, what's going to happen to the yields of the 10-year treasury? It's only going to rise.
It all goes back to going off the gold standard. You know, I think that was a bad decision for a lot of reasons, but I think this conversation is unavoidable at some point in time. And I think that it's a strange rhetoric. I don't know if you've seen it. I do. The meat and potatoes of the show is coming up, kids. I know we're like an hour in. You're like, oh my God, we're going to talk about something relevant now other than politics? Yeah, we are. It's politically adjacent. But before we do that, I think it's weird how all of like the banking heads who are opposed to cryptocurrency are now like, hey, we got to get with the times.
Yeah.
Cryptocurrency's the way to go. Jamie Dimon coming out supporting.
Which is right.
We all going to ignore that's a complete 180?
That's a 180 for him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of that probably, whether he believed in or didn't believe in it before, the regulators had to have been on him. Like, you cannot come out here and start supporting this initially.
Well,
even if he believed
did.
it. Now he did. Yeah. Right? Like, come on.
I know what he did.
What did he do?
He's like, Warren retired.
Now I can step in.
Be
the savior. Yeah.
Greg Abel, shut up. This is what's going to happen, okay? This is went down.
Uh-huh.
So let's get into U.S. will ban Wall Street investors from buying single-family homes, Trump said. I wasn't going to cover this in the live. And then the more I was like, man, this narrative is terrible. So it came from Reuters. U.S. President Donald Trump on Wednesday said his administration is moving to ban Wall Street firms from buying up single-family homes in a bid to reduce home prices, a potential blow for private equity landlords that also pressured home builders' stocks.
Mm-hmm.
In a post on Truth Social, Trump said he was immediately taking steps to implement the ban, which he would also call on Congress to codify in law. It was not clear what steps he would take. I'm going to read his actual quote because I think it's important here in a moment. But before we get to that, there's no evidence. I'm sorry. I know there's people all over X that are like, oh, damn these private equity firms. And I am not a private equity firm fan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm not backing some of these people. But I got friends at Blackstone. Do they buy a lot of multifamily apartments? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do they buy a lot of multifamily apartment debt? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Why are they into that? Why are they interested in that?
Because they get the interest rate, they get the return on the cash flow every single month, and they get the equity upside in the property over time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a stable investment, but believe it or not, it is not the highest yielding product they get. It may turn into that, into a higher yielding product, but not the highest. This is not incredibly risky product for them. It's incredibly stable, so it's low yield. They want slow and steady growth over time, okay? People are like, oh, well, it's because of them that my rent's so high. No, man, it's not, okay? And we're going to cover and I'm going to prove out because I'm so tired of this damn rhetoric. I'm tired of it.
Right. A lot of people believe that it's the institutional investor that came into their neighborhoods. Look, there are some neighborhoods out there that have maybe experienced more than others,
Yeah,
right?
disproportionately more, but depending on how you define a large investor, whether you're talking about 100 units or more or 1,000 units or more, it's somewhere between 3 and 7% of the total supply is bought by, quote, institutional investors. I'm sorry. That ain't what's causing your housing problem. It's the high rates and the high home prices that are doing that.
Right. And in order for the housing affordability to really get resolved, we've talked about this on the show ad nauseum, right? 3 things need to happen. Not one of the 3, not 2 of the 3. All 3 things need to happen in conjunction, right?
Wages going up, home prices coming down, and rates
going down.
Yeah. Not likely to happen anytime soon.
Right. At least all 3 of them, right? So,
or you can have outsized growth in any of them. I'll take the higher wages.
I'm good with that. Yeah, let me decide.
I'll decide what to do with the extra money, everybody. Yeah. But higher wages with no inflation in home prices at the same time is the problem. And therein lies the human conundrum, if you will. Okay, Truth Social. For a very long time, buying and owning a home was considered the pinnacle of the American dream. It was. Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. Pursuit of happiness meant home ownership. He is not wrong. It was the reward for working hard and doing the right thing. But now, because of the record high inflation caused by Joe Biden and the Democrats in Congress, that might not be the only reason, but okay. That American dream is increasingly out of reach for far too many people, especially younger Americans. Agreed.
Okay.
At least it's out of reach. Right. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
It is for that reason and much more that I am immediately taking steps to ban large institutional investors from buying more single-family homes. Why? Because you're pandering to this false narrative?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, fine.
Okay, whatever, dude.
And I will be calling on Congress to codify. Okay, typically speaking, just to be I don't want to be the guy. Typically speaking, this comes from Congress and then you codify it.
Right.
Not the other way.
Yeah.
Executive, judicial, legislative to executive approval. It's just semantics.
Right.
Remains to be seen how this is legal. And I'm pretty sure the SEC's got some comments here. I'm pretty sure some of the housing authorities got some comments here. HUD, maybe, for example.
I'll let you finish the quote before I comment.
Oh, good. Thank you. Very courteous of you.
Yeah.
People live in homes, not corporations. Yeah, except here's the problem, Chiefy. Corporations don't live in them either.
Yeah.
They rent them out to people who live in them.
Right.
And just to be the bearer of bad news here, if less companies can buy and vis-a-vis their acquisitions rent them out, okay, you got a fundamental problem, which means less rental supply in the market, which means rents go up. It is significantly cheaper to buy a rent than it is to buy right now. Do you really want rent going up as a result of this? Because nobody's thought this through. And while I'm doing this, you know who some of the largest buyers of homes are?
Who?
The builders.
There you go.
So now you're going to discourage them from buying their own stock and re-renting them on the market as a cash flow vehicle. So they're just not going to make it. And don't worry, Chris has got a chart to prove this out because I know someone on X is going to be like, you don't know what you're talking about,
and
man.
If they can't do it, then they can't go back in and build even more units, right? Discourages them from building out even more.
Why would you do it? If I can't buy my own units, Regil bringing up the Burns docs.
Dude, Burns docs.
John Burns. This is old, believe it or not. I did not, I did not know this was going to be used in the future at some point in time. But before I get here, by June 2022, institutional investors owned around 450,000 homes, or about 3%. That is institutional investors defined as 1,000 or more, not 100 or more. 100 or more, it's closer to 7% because it's this 3% plus, it's like 3.5 plus 3.8% approximately. We'll get into that. Don't worry. Of all single-family rentals of the homes nationally, according to a 2024 survey by the Government Accountability Office. What? There's a Government Accountability Office?
Bro, what is going on? Accountability
How
office?
many offices are there?
This
is the Government Swagger Office. I wanted to call you about your swagger, Saeed. Those quarter zips are not satisfactory. We're going to have to fine you, and we're going to issue sanctions if you keep this up.
The Bureau of Swagger check?
Yeah. Can't be wearing those fits. You look very Maduro-ish. American Homes for Rent, AMH, on the stock market dropped to a near 3-year low of $28.84 and was halted for volatility before trading resumed. Just in case you don't know this, if your price changes too much, and I don't remember the exact numbers, and we can look it up some other time, it's not really relevant for the show, they'll halt your activity trading to kind of slow the progression downward, upward. If it happens 3 times, they'll just stop your trading for the day. You can start trading again the next day.
Okay.
It ain't good.
Right.
No, it's bad.
No, it's bad.
Yeah.
Very bad.
Yeah, not good, but it happens. And, sometimes it's protective and sometimes it's cautionary, but you don't want to hit those red alarms in the stock market if you're a publicly traded company. It's not good for you or anybody else. Trading resumed. Its shares closed down only 4% at $31.01. Blackstone shares hit a 1-month low of $147.52 and closed down about 5.6% to $153.59. The PHLX housing index fell 2.6%. A spokesperson for Blackstone said their ownership of such homes represented a small portion of their overall business. I can confirm firsthand, know the guys who run it. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
And they had been a net seller of homes for the prior decade. Yeah, sold more homes than they bought.
Yeah, you know that all the homies at the private equity firms are looking at them like, bro, why you didn't have to do this?
We're already the devil, Mr. President.
Why are you doing this?
Yeah, like why?
Why did you do this to us? You
want to know why? Because they are already the devil. He knows.
Yeah,
blame the dead guy.
When you were reading it, what came to mind for me was like sometimes like right before bed, for some reason, the kids tend to get a little too playful. They get feisty. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they argue with each other over things that don't matter. But sometimes they're playing and it sounds like fighting if you're not really like locked in and tuned in. Okay. Sometimes my wife will be downstairs and say, "Hey, go upstairs and like take care of that before I get upset."
To you.
Yeah, to me. Go take care of that. Make sure they get to bed before I come upstairs and I have to take care of business.
That checks out.
It does check out. Right? So then in my mind, I'm like locked in. I can tell that they're playful and I'll be like, "Oh, I got it. Don't worry. I'll go take care of that problem. You don't." And I know if I go up there, they're just playing and I can put them in bed and I come down and look like the hero. Bro, there's no problem, and he's acting like he's solving a problem. There's 0 problems going on here.
Saeed totally just confirmed that his wife does not listen to the podcast. he ain't giving away.
She ain't locked in. She ain't locked in after an hour, bro.
Yeah, she's like, all right.
She might listen. She'll listen for the first like 20, 30 minutes, and then maybe check the sign off.
Chris talking too much. Click.
She ain't listen to the mean potatoes.
Yeah,
she was on the live the other day though.
She wasn't live. Yeah,
yes. She's on the live.
She wanted to catch me slipping though. You got to know his wife.
Right.
She wanted to be like, "Oh, that episode was so great, except for that one part where you stuttered too much."
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it sucks for you.
She does. She doesn't. She likes calling Chris out.
Yeah, she does. I would too. All right, this from the John Burns Research and Consulting is the best chart I have seen on this. I've seen a lot. This to me, and it goes from left to right. You got to read it in that order, otherwise it looks like a bunch of rainbows and colors and stuff like that. So there are 148 million housing units on the market. A certain percentage of them, 9%, is about vacant. Is that right? 9%? Yeah, 9% vacant. Okay, of these housing homes on the market, 134 million households, okay, own the non-vacant units. Okay. All right. There is a vacant unit breakdown here, but not really relevant for this part of this conversation. So of the 65% that are owned and the 35% that are rented, you look at the 35% that are rented and you say, okay, that's 47 million total rental units.
Yeah.
Okay. Of those 47 million total rental units, 66% or 31 million of those are apartment buildings. Okay.
Yeah.
So sorry, kids.
Yeah. That has to be an investor. Right.
That leaves us, excluding mobile homes, which is only a 2 million unit supply here, single family rentals of 14 million units across the entire country.
14 million single-family rented units of the original 148 million units.
Yeah, housing units.
Housing
that
units.
Units can be live in. So I know the question is, well, Chris,
Yeah, I think people get that confused, right? Housing units. Units that people can live in. That includes apartment buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoopsies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now you got single-family rental units, 14 million units. Let's break down the 14 million units because this is surprising to most people, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you own 1 to 9 properties, okay?
Yeah.
If you own 10 to 99 properties, those two groups, shocker, make up 76.6% of the ownership.
That checks out given my underwriting history.
Yeah, it does. It should check out.
Yeah.
Saeed Omar.
Yeah.
It should check out real well.
70%.
76.6%.
76%, right.
So now of the cohort that own 100 to 99 properties, 16.2% are owned by people who own 100 to 999 properties. Only 3.8%. I'm sorry. I messed up. My bad. I did this math wrong here. Let me fix this for you. 76.6% is 1 to 9 properties. People who own 10 to 99 properties is 16.2%, which means a little over 92%
Mm-hmm.
is owned by people between 1 and 99 properties.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, those are your real estate investors that like got in the game early and did really well for themselves.
Or people who just own their home.
Yeah.
Right.
Or people that just own their own,
Yeah.
right. One unit.
Yeah, that's right. So 100 to 999 properties. 999. Yeah. 100 to 999. So less than 1,000 properties, more than 100 properties, 3.8% of the total market.
What are we talking about here?
Okay. 1,000 properties plus, 3.4% of the total market. Okay. Total combined, if you own 100 units or more, okay,
Mm-hmm.
7.2% of the total rental market is owned by them. Do you really think this is the solution?
Yeah. Crazy.
And
Crazy.
how do you
No, there's-
define institutional?
Right. It's just honestly, there isn't enough money for them to make, right? Especially when it comes down to like single family rentals.
Yeah.
Come on. They're not into it for that, right?
And the problem with this chart is this is a static shock look at their ownership right now.
Mm-hmm.
But if you listen to people like Blackstone who made the comment they made, and they're not wrong, they have been a net seller. That means for all the properties they own, they have sold more than they acquired in any given year.
Yeah.
So if you start going through the math that way, the last 10 years,
Well, how are
they
you
have
gonna
sold more properties than they
Well,
own.
also like how are you going to stop it, right? Like you're going to discourage these people from making units to go online, discouraging developers.
Well, you're also discouraging rentals.
Yeah.
If 7% of the market is rental properties that are owned by these people, you don't think that, okay, we'll make housing more affordable,
Mm-hmm.
but we're going to make renting more expensive.
Right.
And what does that do? Does that really make everybody's life better?
Absolutely not.
Right.
Absolutely, as my son would say, not.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, there's no restrictions on investors in capping the increases in rates, right? Like rent control on single family homes. Right? Only on apartment buildings, right?
It depends on where you're at. It's regional.
Regional?
Most places around the country.
I mean, that's
yeah.
something at some point people would have to be considered, if anything, right? Because that really puts people in a pickle where they're renting a home and they just get their rent increase 10%.
You're baiting me right now.
I
know
am.
what you're doing.
See what I'm doing?
Yeah. All right, let's do it. I have been a self-proclaimed rent control expert for a long period of time. Having made a lot of loans in Southern California, the second largest multifamily lender in the country in California at one point in time, I know firsthand that rent control has very good sides and very bad sides. Yes, you can keep rates low. And yes, that means that some people can stay in those properties for a long period of time. But that also prevents transitory migration from one unit to the next unit. People don't move. They stay there because any new apartment you go to is going to wind up being more expensive than the one you've been in for 2 decades.
Mm-hmm.
Some people try to pass down their apartments and their rents on to their kids.
Right.
Because they're so cheap.
For long-term tenants, rent control it gives the illusion of protection and stability, right? That's the lure, the draw.
And it's one way to solve the problem. I'm not demonizing it, but you got to understand there's a human element here. Landlords, it almost encourages them to be slumlords. Why do they want to put more money into rehabilitating and making a unit really nice if that person's not going to vacate and it's never going to relet?
Mm-hmm.
And if they can't raise the rent meaningfully?
Right.
The only way in some of these markets in Los Angeles they can raise the rent is they keep it vacant for a year and then re-rent it at a much higher rate. So, and yeah, new properties that are built in areas like Los Angeles, for example, can be built and they have to have a low income housing component, but
it's like 15 years before they get hit with rent control.
Yeah, and it's not exactly a perfect system. It does work that it keeps valuations of properties, which are based on the amount of income and revenue you can build from them. It keeps them stable from going too far down and too far up, and it keeps people from over leveraging, like banks from over leveraging these properties. You can't give people too much cash out because you got to get the debt service to pay for them.
Right.
So there are rational explanations on both sides of the equation. I'm not saying that it's great or it's good or it's bad, but I'm saying that pulling off 7.something% of the rental properties in the market and lowering that over time is not going to meaningfully move the needle.
Mm-hmm.
First, we saw the executive branch talk about a 50-year mortgage, and social media lost their mind laughing their asses off at it.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have this spin at it. Clearly, there's a problem in the housing market. Clearly, right. I commend everybody in the White House for at least acknowledging some of the problems and taking up some of the most popular rhetoric and feeding into what people want to hear responses to.
Oh, like a 50-year mortgage.
People are discouraged. They want to hear there's something that the administration could do.
Yeah, but I think for a lot of people, when they're complaining about there's a problem here, there's a huge problem here. Nobody can afford homes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you come to the table with this. First, you come to the table with, we'll start pushing and approving of 50-year mortgages, right? It's like, that's your solution, my guy? That you had all
that's
this.
That's not his fault, though.
No, it's not his fault. But I'm saying, like, that's the unrest for many people that they're sitting and waiting for a solution, and that's the best thing you can come forward with. Not good enough, right? And then the next thing you do is we're gonna stop institutional investment. That's not even a problem, dude. What do you mean? That's not the real problem.
Well, what if you put on the tinfoil hat and you had the conversation? Okay, let's say this doesn't solve the problem. But let's just say you could move several dials a little tiny bit, and maybe that will mean. So let's just say macro 30,000 foot elevation, devil's advocate. Number one, you roll out a 50-year mortgage, but you make it really hard to qualify for. It's for first-time home buyers only, and you got to have certain restrictions that make it unique in the market.
Okay.
Number one. Number two, and there's a constitutionality issue, right? Similar situated people being treated differently. Is it constitutional?
Yeah.
Is it legal?
No different than this student loan example.
But let's just say you do it. Okay. I cut you off. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Give me that half smile. I know what you're thinking. Go ahead.
No, because then there's I'm not saying it's the administration's fault or anyone's fault. I think what scares people is we need a solution, and our policymakers can't provide a solution.
Yeah, but I can't think of one either.
Right. But I'm saying, like, the system broke.
Yeah.
We're all supposed to rely on the system, right? And the system is when things don't go well, our policymakers can go in there and provide solutions for us and create solutions to fix the problems.
The problem is by the time people acknowledge that there is a problem, you've got an entire class of people who are priced out of the market and won't be able to be priced back in.
Right.
If you don't fix the problem near term, it is going to be a long-term, painful, almost impossible problem to turn around, not too dissimilar from our national debt.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But let's just say you move the needle, you do the 50-year mortgage, you find a way to make it constitutional. Okay, whatever. Let's say you cut institutional investors out of the market. Okay, fine. You got Myron in the FOMC, right? You get Jerome Powell out, you name somebody else, you got 3 votes, you get more aggressive cuts, rates come back down.
But we know what that does ultimately.
It drives home values up.
Right.
All these things are inflationary for home prices.
Right. There is no solution for the home affordability crisis.
So it's death by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah. It's death by 1,000 cuts, or just a massive AI bubble crash to where there's multiple catalysts and multiple things break.
And how does that happen? How does that happen? When you have companies making more money than ever, they're paying less dividends because they're building out their infrastructure, but at some point in time, you presume they're going to pay dividends again.
Mm-hmm.
How does this happen? Where does the...
I'm not saying it should happen.
I mean, you are kind of wishing for... like
not at all, no.
Did you, Regil, you heard him say that, right? He's like, I want people to lose their money.
I did.
That's what he said.
did not say that.
I might be reading between the lines a little bit, but you know what I'm saying.
I did not say that. Look, I benefit off of it. I'm saying I got the feels for the people that don't.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you own a
Listen,
palazzo.
shout out to my man Bob File who messaged me before the show, and I told him I was going to give him a shout out on the show.
Did you?
Yeah, and I said, Chris is an elitist. I'm the people's champ. I'm your guy.
Yeah, I would want to sound humble if I lived in a palazzo too.
With 6 bathrooms?
Yeah, 6 bathrooms and the big water fountain out front. You ever seen that thing?
No.
He's got a statue.
Now you're lying. You're adding to it. There's no water fountain. There's only 2 baths.
Simply because I haven't talked about it in the past. There's only 2 baths that work right now because you got a bunch of water leaks. I'll give you that.
You found the loophole.
One of which is technically a sitting room now.
Yeah. Oh, we can laugh at my pain.
Yeah, bro. Virgil, true story. He sent a picture to the group chat the other day about his bathroom having a leak, and I'm like, oh no, that's the other bathroom.
Yeah, that wasn't the one from before.
Yo, can we do this on the show? When you moved in, you had a water leak. You had to put PEX piping all through the house.
I did.
Right?
Had to change the water heater.
Change the water heater.
Mm.
You did the bathroom upstairs because there was a leak there.
Mm-hmm.
And now during the rainstorms, you found another leak in the bathroom downstairs.
Yeah, through the window.
I'm going to be honest with you, dog. You should turn your water off.
I know. I need God turned his water off. This got a little crazy.
Honestly, the whole house and solve this problem.
The leak in the bathroom was a small leak, and it created a little bit of water damage, right? But the problem is when my contractor came in to see, like, oh yeah, there is a leak. There's a little bubble like under the paint, and he put his finger on it and he pressed on it and it just cracked it. I was like, come on, man.
You could have left it there?
You could have just leave it. Like, I wasn't going to fix it now.
I was going to take the hair dryer on that thing.
I was just going to tell people to go upstairs, use the bathroom. The upstairs one has a bidet.
So the real version of the story, Regila, is Saeed went in and was like, I got the money, just fix it, bro.
That far from true. Far from true.
So because
I actually negotiated down with the guy. I felt bad. I was like, come on.
You don't
man.
ever feel bad. Shout out to Ben. Best contractor in the world.
The greatest.
Yeah, Saeed's never paid him market rate on anything.
That's not true. I paid him whatever he's quoted me. That's the payment.
At least he's willing to quote you. He won't quote me.
Yeah, because you're an elitist.
I'm not. Stop. Don't do that.
I did it.
Okay, you want to hear elitist? Jill, you know the story as well. Tenant moves out. Property inspector goes in. She inspects the property. My sister. So I'm not going to talk too much trash.
A rental property of yours.
Rental property of mine.
One of
my rental properties. One of them. Yeah. And new tenant comes in, does the whole like pre-rental like look around. She loves it. Her family loves it. Dad's going to live with her.
Oh, wow.
She's like, smells moldy in here.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Turns out there was seepage, which I know you guys think about going to the bathroom when I say seepage. Not that kind of seepage.
Ew.
Yeah. It's worse in reality than it is in hyperbole. So apparently the sink at some point in time, whenever you run it, leaks tiny bit.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody runs their sinks multiple times a day. The previous tenant was so paranoid about dust that I used to send contractors in to fix things for her. She wouldn't even let them wear like those like booties that go over their shoes. She wouldn't even allow the shoes in her house at all. You could not wear shoes in her house. You had to wear the booties with no shoes, socks only.
Bro, I'm an Afghan household. You got to take your shoes off when you come to my house.
No, I did the same thing. My wife's Filipino. I mean, I get it. But I did that before I married her. So, you know, I guess that makes us shoe brothers.
All right.
In any event, she was very, very paranoid. She would call me and say, hey, this guy won't take his shoes off. Get a different contractor out here. And the contractor's always like, I have to wear shoes. It's an insurance liability. It'd be like a whole thing, right? So whatever. But so she didn't know. If she would have known, she would. And she had a small kid. Like I get it. So she moves out. We see the girl smells as we have a mold inspector come out. He inspects, finds the entire kitchen cabinet structure is molded. The point where it all is like it's basically like your Bitcoin hands.
Yeah.
Wet paper towel hands.
What?
Right? So we rip out the entire sink, which has the countertop, the cabinets, everything has to go. Of course, this is a big house and it's a big island in the middle. On one side, there's a kitchen with countertop. The other side, there's a matching countertop. But guess what?
They don't make that countertop anymore?
They don't make countertops anymore. They can't get a matching stone. They don't make the cabinets anymore. Can't get matching cabinets. This turned into a $10,000 ordeal, not including the $5,000 professional mold remediation for the space.
Damn.
Yeah. So I cannot criticize your habits. But the fun fact, the lesson here is, kids, if you ever call your insurance company
Mm.
and you want to talk to them about this, you cannot say it was a slow leak over time because they will not cover. As a matter of fact, most rental insurance policies across the country have pulled mold out almost entirely because they always say that mold tends to occur not from a singular one-time event, but because it happens to a slow leak over time, which they do not cover.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a rider or an addendum to your policy, which includes it for a nominal increase in fee. Of course, no one tells you that, but the higher standard.
There you go. That's actually gems.
Yeah, I'm out here. Free game.
Free game.
Free game, baby.
That's old school. We approve that. You can say that.
I can?
Yeah, free
Thank you.
game.
Yeah.
We got to just stick to like our lingo.
We do?
Yeah.
So I should not make the shirts that say 6'7" on them.
No, don't do that.
You should make a
Definitely
segment about this insurance stuff.
A whole segment on insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the evergreen content that we're.
Let me
supposed
tell you
to-
why I'm changing insurance companies, and mine sucks.
Yeah.
Especially with mold, you could call it drip too hard.
That's actually great. That's a shirt. That's a shirt. Drip
Yeah.
too hard with the roof that's caved in on top of it.
Oh, the drip. The drip.
You got the drip.
Yeah. That's good. Regil
Thank you.
knows what he's doing.
Yeah. All right. There you go.
All right. You
Well.
guys got anything else? I mean, we're an hour and 21 in.
I know, right? I hope that new roadcast. Oh, if you're listening to the show and you're this far into it, you're a loyal, true fan. We love you.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, we're using new audio equipment. Same mics, same tone, same sound, but it sounds a little different to us because the preamps are all a little different. If you think this sounds different or it sucks, by all means, send Syed an email, media@higherstandardpodcast.com, and we will let you know. And we will get you the discount code percentages for our new sponsor, Fridays, joinfridays.com. Microdose GLP-1s, get GLP-1s, get testosterone, get some peptides, all the good stuff. Great way to support yourself and have us help you help yourself and help us at the same time. So there you
Honestly,
go.
yeah, I saw one of their posts earlier today, and it was spot on. If you ever bought like your kids gifts, right?
No.
And they don't ask Carter what you got him for Christmas last year, right? He made me remember one gift or two, or his birthday. He'll start confusing like when you got what gift. He won't remember. Give your kids the gift of health
For yourself.
for yourself.
Don't buy your kids GLP-1s.
No,
Just to be clear.
buy yourself the GLP-1
Yeah.
so you live a healthier, longer life
For your kids.
for your kids.
The delivery in that could have used some better execution.
That's
That's
no, this
lawsuit
is-
territory.
this
I can't
is-
have a lawsuit, Syed.
this is
We
me
got
and
enough
you.
of those.
I got just a couple more shout outs for a couple of people here. Annie and Callie told me she and her husband sometimes watch us on the big screen TV in their house. So shout out to them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's always weird when people send me photos of them watching us on television in their house.
Yeah.
Makes me feel very awkward.
Yeah. And shout out to
It's very intimate.
B Diaz. Yeah.
Oh, BEE Diaz.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's cool. She watches this show
Yeah.
regularly.
Yeah.
She's
So shout
old school
out to all the people. And if you're still with us and you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, ring that notification bell, do all the moist, goody good,
Give it to
sassy
me.
frat stuff. Leave us a comment. Let us know if you like the quarter zips. We should come out with some higher standard quarter zip merch.
Not gonna do it. You
Come
can make,
on,
you
dog.
can make your own merch now.
I'm
You can make your own goddamn
gonna go
merch.
get this embroidered.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. We can actually do that with our merch company.
Yeah.
We can do the embroidering thing. I just refuse to do it.
Why?
Huh?
Come on, this is so like professional.
I only wear stuff you can actually wear in Compton.
In Compton.
Like you can wear this in Compton, you'd be fine.
You'd be good.
Regil and I would be good in the hood. You would not make it, sir.
All good, man.
Yeah, how did we lose right, Regil? How did we lose Saeed? He
Quarter zips
Yeah.
in
He
the
made a
hood.
left turn at Quarter Zip Alley.
of course it's in Compton.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
Neutral colors though. All right. You got anything else for
know
Joe?
you're colorblind.
Yeah, so I'm saying I always gray or black, baby.
That's not gray,
it.
dog.
What is it?
Huh? That's
You lie.
purple. That's
You lie.
lavender.
Lies.
Regil, tell him.
Lies. Don't listen to them.
Lilac.
Lilac.
No, it's Heather Gray.
Heather Gray.
It's lilac.
You know what I don't like about Nike?
What?
They the name, their color convention names are all like, I'm like, what is that? I don't even know what that is. It's not like, just tell me if it's gray, blue, red,
No,
black.
it's periwinkle.
It's graphite. Come on, bro. Just say it. Just tell me what it is.
Yeah. Fancy gray.
Yeah. Come on. Crimson. I'm like, come on, bro. Crimson red. Like, just make it simple. There's colorblind people out there.
Sounds like a YP, not an MP. Say goodnight, everybody. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. A YP.
Yeah.
Regil, you got anything?
Well, I guess since we're talking about Compton, let's quote Ice Cube: "The best thing in life is health. Get your mind right, get your grind right.
Get your mind right. Get your grind right. There you go.
Use code HIGHER
He just
on
has-
Fridays."
You just had so many of those.
He's good. Yeah. You got anything?
I'm useless.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.